Hey guys, this is Bales. I'm at FantasyLabs in the NFL player models section, and I wanted to just create a quick video to show you how I use our models and the sliders, basically what I'm looking for. So I think there's a variety of different ways that you can use the sliders in each of these stats and factors when creating a model, and then there's different things that you should be looking for. So the first thing is just sort of to think about what type of stat it is. If you're not sure what it is, you can hover over the tooltip and we have a explanation of each stat, but just sort of thinking about what the purpose of your model is and what you're trying to accomplish. So is it for cash games? Are you playing in head-to-heads and 50-50s where you probably want to be very price sensitive, and you want to sort of try to increase the floor of your lineup? Then you're probably going to want to weigh something like bargain rating and the projections. Maybe you don't care about ceiling, you care more about median projection and floor projection. Whatever it is, it should probably fit with your goals. A month salary change is another big one that has historically led to value, which is just important. Another thing to think about is the position that you're looking at. So even in tournaments, you probably want to more or less, I think, embrace safety at the quarterback position. It's a more predictable position than, for example, wide receiver or tight end. And at those positions, because they're so volatile anyway, you sort of, I think, want to embrace that and would be less price sensitive at a position like wide receiver, where you might care more about upside and their past upside and their ceiling projection, which might be a reflection of their ability to score touchdowns. Probably don't care as much about bargain rating for a position like wide receiver. So just think about those things. Another thing I like to do before I create any model is move all of the sliders to 0, and then just move one of them up to 100. So we'll move bargain rating up to 100, update it, and you can see if you cared about nothing except for bargain rating, so you can see the ratings on the left here changed. So Flacco has 100% bargain rating, which means that it's basically the largest difference we've ever seen at the quarterback position in site salaries. So he's the best bargain basically that he could be on DraftKings. If you only cared about that, you would still have performed 3.26 points above expectation, above salary-based expectation. And you can sort of see how valuable each of these are. So bargain rating is very predictive if we look at something like long-term value, because we're dealing with matchups. It's really not going to be as predictive. So there's actually a negative correlation where players who have a high historic is basically bulk production have actually offered a little bit less value than the cheaper players. So you might not want to weight that at all. So yeah, you can just sort of play with each of these and see how predictive they have been in the past, and create a model based off of that. So I'll just create a quick model here. There's no real reason why I'm doing any of this. I just want to show you. So we create the model, we update. This is somehow pretty good. So the plus minus is obviously something to look at, but if you hover over the plus minus, you can also see the percentile rank in terms of upside consistency and duds, which is how often the players are reaching their floor. And that's something that's really important too. So if you're looking at tournaments, you would probably care more about the upside percent for the position than you would care about even the plus minus, probably, because you're just sort of trying to maximize upside in tournaments. So those are the things that I look at. I guess the main points are test each of the sliders, see how predictive they've been in terms of plus minus and in terms of upside and consistency, and then sort of match your goals for a particular league with your model, and also match the model and the sliders and the stats that you're weighing heavily with the particular position. Another example of that might be Vegas. I don't care too much about we always care about the implied team total, but I don't care as much about it for tight end, for example, as I do a running back. A running back, you want to be on a team that's going to score a lot of points, obviously, but you want them to be up in the game, so they get a lot of late carries, and there's a pretty strong correlation between Vegas, the spread, and running back value in daily fantasy. So that would be a more important slider at the running back position than tight end or receiver, for example, who a lot of times if pass catchers are in games where they get down, that's actually beneficial because then their team is throwing more. So that's more or less how I use the models. What's really cool is that these update all the time, so you can continue to test how predictive each of these things are. So if DraftKings changes their pricing such that they are accounting for Vegas for running backs more than they did in the past, we'll be able to test that. So you can periodically just test the predictive value of each slider and adjust your models accordingly so that you're always sort of ahead of the curve.